we're almost there. Almost back to some version of normal. I have been home now longer, consecutively speaking, than I have been in the entire history of the time that I've been filming Randomland. So long now that if you look closely, you'll see my Mustang has actually gotten filthy from disuse. Of course, Allie can't drive at the moment, so it's just been me driving. I was just looking at all this dust the other day and getting seriously bummed out. It was the first time in a month that I actually started to go, how long is all this gonna last? Like, when are we gonna start to, you know, kind of get back into life? And then it started happening, little by little, slowly but surely. Allie started coming back to us. She started being able to take care of the wound and changing all her medical stuff all by herself, being able to go into the kitchen and make a lot of food. Not all food, but some stuff for herself. She's able to go to the living room to get something if she forgot to get up and down more and more easily by herself. And even, in fact, for Valentine's Day, she was able to go out with me on her little scooter that I rented her to the Huntington Gardens in Pasadena, where, with a little bit of assistance, she was able to walk around quite a bit more than even I expected. Of course, it still had to be mostly scootering around, and of course she was really tired when she got home. But the point is, quite ironically, for a very rather overcast, windy, kind of stormy day, I began to see a little ray of sunshine, a little blue peeking between the clouds. And not only is Allie going to be A-okay, but little by little, you and I are going to return to adventures. This is especially timely because I think Allie's been getting pretty sick of so many people coming in and out, fussing over her, helping her with every little thing. And not that she's completely sick of my face, but she's getting a little sick of my face. She actually wants to be left alone, at least for a few hours a day, you know, to have her own life. And so since I'm still nervous to go too far afield, I've made my first reservation since her surgery, my first reservation of the new year, to return, to go back to Disneyland. Not yet, though. That's actually going to be tomorrow, and I'm glad the reservation was for tomorrow. Look at the weather today. It keeps getting gusty and then calming down. It'll be warm wind, then cold wind, then a little sprinkling, and then it'll get all dry outside. It really can't make up its mind today. It's also good because it gave me a chance to do a bunch of stuff that I needed to catch up on, like changing all the litter in Mika and Frankie's house poop, arranging for the last dumpster to come later this week to take away what I hope is the last load of stuff from when we did that whole garage project, which isn't finished yet, but as you can see, we've made some progress. I ran a huge number of errands this morning, restocked all the supplies I could think that she'd possibly need while anyone was gone or out of the house. Lots of easy to prepare food and easy to reach places for her and all that kind of stuff. I've got just a little bit more to do here. And then I think, as nervous and weirded out as I am to be leaving her behind it all, I'll be ready to go down to the park tomorrow. Which is, of course, literally less than 5 miles away from here, but still, I'm still a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, you won't actually be totally alone. Not only will London be home, but also the nice lady who's been helping us clean will be here. I guess it's like getting back up on that horse. I've got to get over the anxiety sometime and leave her alone for a few hours a day and find something else to do. Not, of course, that it's been dull around here. Let me tell you, it's been quite the opposite. The second I got home from the hospital, the first thing I freaked out about is that every cabinet in this kitchen was packed. It was all crazy. I didn't know where anything was. So my mom's best friend Kim, who's sort of like a godmother to my brother and I, or another aunt, or almost like an extra mom if we ever needed a spare, came to the rescue. And there was about a week and a half there where we were pretty much constantly having this kitchen reorganized. Look at this, it's amazing. She managed to fit twice as much stuff into each cabinet. I wish I had a before shot to show you. Not only did she help us throw away a lot of stuff that we honestly didn't need, but she helped us organize the rest, fit it all into these cabinets, and then proceeded to label everything in here with some help from my mom and some help from supervision from Allie, so that even a partially brain-dead moron like me would actually be able to find things and, thanks to the labels, put them away in their proper place. This includes 2 giant pantry cabinets that are now over in the shipping online store area. Sorry, Tyler. Which, I mean, look at this. Are life-changingly organized. How about that? I feel like I'm living in a little grocery store. Look at this. Wow. I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are thinking, big deal, that's exactly what my kitchen looks like. Well, I can follow rules and put things away where they go if I have to. But I am no good at organizing whatsoever. So this was like a miracle to me. Plus, I saw how much work it took, which makes me extremely grateful. Oh, I almost forgot about the most helpful cabinet of all. Look at this. A cabinet for all those weird kitchen things like the chopper and the blender and the crock pot and stuff you don't use every day. You don't know where it goes? Look, it has somewhere to go! They did an absolutely amazing job on this place! Oh, and hey, Allie, you did a great job supervising. Oh, Allie, I love you.
I love you.
How do you feel now?
I feel pretty good. I'm getting better every day.
Feel like you're recovering finally?
Yeah.
I can see you doing more stuff every day. You still recovering from Valentine's Day, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired now.
Yeah, but you could walk. You walked a little bit. You walked for like 20-something minutes. You walked around. You didn't pass out or anything.
Yeah, I did pretty good.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks until you're allowed to bend. You got that doctor appointment, and then you might be able to drive after then.
Yeah.
So
exciting.
You're on the mend. You gonna be okay if I leave you here, though, tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I know you're trying to push me out the door like, okay, I need a little break from your face. It still feels weird to leave you. It feels weird to leave you too, Frankenstein. Who will protect you from Frankenstein's monster? Who will protect you? All right, I was completely distracted by the presence of the beautiful Allie. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. How it wasn't dull around here. That's because at first I had to jump up about every 2 seconds to get something for Allie, or to change something, or to check her temperature, or make sure she was okay. But even back then when she would fall asleep, I had a whole stack, and this is only a quarter of it, of crazy, epic Chambara Japanese samurai movies to watch, which often left me excited, bewildered, confused, happy, sad, you name it. So I feel like I've lived a lot of lives. Mostly Japanese lives, but a lot of lives. Also, whenever Allie has been awake and therefore able to answer me on the little baby monitors, or with friends or with people in here watching her or talking to her or visiting with her, I've been working on a pretty big project, it turns out. A project that demanded I actually learn how to use, poorly or not, a whole bunch of the tools in this garage. Some of you may have already seen me working on it in bits and pieces, especially those of you on Patreon who watch the morning announcements. I have been working on, bit by bit, piece by piece, building a giant Tiki planter. I'm getting deja vu, so I might have already mentioned this, so I'll just explain it kind of briefly. Basically, I've got that sort of, well, recently somewhat neglected Tiki/jungle area here in the very back corner of the backyard. And last year I got this epic old Disneyland style bench from an estate sale, and I put it out here so that you could get a fine view of the tikis and the jungle foliage. What you do, the problem is if you look to your left or you look to your right, you get a fine view of the garage, you get a fine view of where the trash cans are and the house. So I realized a while ago that it's gonna feel a lot more like you're lost in paradise if we could put some kind of planter over here next to the tree on this side, and then eventually another one over yonder that we can fill with more jungle plants like this banana over here, maybe some bird of paradise, some palm trees, you know, stuff like that. I didn't know if I wanted to build it out of lava rock or just retaining wall stone, cinder blocks, what I was going to build it out of. And then one day it hit me as I was turning plain 2x4s to hold up the bamboo out here into these kind of very simply router carved, more detailed, more themed looking bamboo holding up poles. What if I had just cut a bunch of 2-foot sections of 2x4 like this, carved them to look sort of Tiki-esque, and then arrange them next to each other? Couldn't that just possibly form the sides of an epic Tiki planter? Well, my friends, I finished this wall first. You can see the carvings are so-so, but still took me like a week. So I realized it was going to be a much bigger project than I had anticipated, and that there were going to be many more mistakes and a much steeper learning curve to doing this than I thought there was going to be at first. But eventually, piece by piece, Tiki Stick Man by Tiki Stick Man, as I call them, I managed to router and chisel and blow torch and sand my way into having enough stickmen finally to begin assembling the sides of the planter. Which means we're in the home stretch of finishing this project. Woohoo! It's one of those things, too, that I got dramatically better at as it went along, you know, so you can really see where I started versus where I ended. Like in terms of the skill and the quality level and all that. It's also one of those things I really just didn't want to take the time to do the right way, so I've been putting it together kind of janky. And I'm not sure exactly how well that's all going to hold up long term with dirt and roots behind it, but I'm hoping the dirt and the roots from all the plants will act sort of like glue and kind of keep the family together, as it were. I actually started working on it before Allie's surgery, like in the week leading up when we really couldn't go anywhere, and I have been working on it ever since. So it's over a month then I worked on it on and off, routering stuff out, carving stuff out, chiseling stuff away. So it'll be really nice to see it finished. It definitely went a lot faster though because I was using classic Tiki designs, not only some oceanic arts designs like this one here, but if you know what you're looking for, there's also a bunch of tributes to other master Tiki carvers, Milan Guanco and such like, and epic Tiki bars and attractions and different jungle attractions that have existed over the years. Oh, I also had my one adult beverage, you know, sort of the year as I do, because I went on my friend Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. It's sort of a Tiki cocktail show on YouTube. And the episode hasn't come out yet, so you'll see that in a little while. But Spike found out I was messing around with all this wood stuff, so he gave me an old hunk of wood from his garage, which was way too cracked and splintery to finish properly, like the way that I actually wanted to finish it. But I got it sort of in the rudimentary shape of a Tiki mask, and I'm going to be returning this eventually to the Breezeway. So, you know, between like 100 subtitled samurai movies, lots of cleaning and reorganizing, full-time, all-day taking care of Allie most days, reorganizing the kitchen with what little help that I actually contributed to that, managing the people coming and going, dealing with London and his scout trips and buying equipment for some big snow trip he's got to go on, and also dealing with his first girlfriend, chiseling, routering, sawing, carving, and learning how to do, you know, a slightly better job at it. I don't feel like I've been doing nothing. I feel like I've been really ridiculously busy. If anything, I feel more tired than when all this started, but I am feeling excited to be a little less cooped up, a little more free range, as it were. I'm really looking forward to it. But before we get there, I've got this project to finish, and that reminds me, I've also got to change the shop vac filter, because even though I've cleaned up most of the sawdust and chisel remnants and stuff, the flakes from all those Tiki sticks, I've got some lumber for a future project coming as well. Now I know why those old guys are always going on and on about shop vacs, because these things are amazing. They save your life. I should probably change my shoes. There we go. And look at this. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet you bottom dollar that tomorrow something. Okay. Just gonna pull out the old filter here. Ooh. Try not to get covered in stuff. That's not too bad. It's pretty much fine. Ooh, oh, it's in my eyes and my mouth and my soul. Wow, I've got a dirty thumb. Lucky for me, I own not just one, but 2 pairs of pants. Oh, okay. I won't lie to you. I just didn't want you to feel bad. I actually own 3 pairs of pants, including these. So, I think they're all dirty though, actually. So. But I'll change eventually. For what it's worth, by the way, yes, I know that these filters are completely reusable and washable. I just washed the other one out so many times that it was kind of warped and wouldn't fit on there with a tight seal anymore. It kept falling off. That's why the replacement. Actually, you know what? That's looking pretty full. I might as well dump that out too while we're already dirty. It's pretty windy out here, and I have a feeling I know how this is going to go. Jeez Louise. Hopefully the wind's actually going in the other direction now. Hey! Look at that! I'm not that dirty. Ooh, but you are. Sorry about that. All right, let's see if this thing finally works again. Oh, yes! It works! That is very sucky. I can clean myself, and I can clean you. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now that I've done that, I can finally put together the final sides of the Tiki planter. This is pretty simple, really, because all I've basically been doing is picking out 13 of these for one side, I think 11 for the other side, and they're obviously 4 inches wide, so I don't know what that equals out to, because I can't do math without a calculator, because I'm a little bit damaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I've basically been laying them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, like this, and I'll flip them over and nail a bunch of boards to the back of them. Not too complicated. See what I mean? So that'll be one side right there. We'll flip it over this way and then nail them together in the back like we did here. Or actually, well, they're screws. You know what, before I even do that side, I'm actually going to do the other side because this is a little too much raw wood for me. I know it'll weather eventually on its own, but I think we might torch these two posts right here and maybe do a little staining on that middle one in a minute. But first, I've arranged all of these in a row here, randomly selected to keep that random look here, and now I've got to screw them all together from the back. Of course, they're all different heights, so I have to take those 4x4s out, screw the other ones together, and then attach the 4x4s. It's a little bit of a process. With every single thing that I'm doing, there's probably a much more savvy, much more professional wood shoppy way of doing everything, actually measuring and thinking and using your brain, leveling things, checking that the ground is level. But, you know, I like to wing it. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Close enough. Alright, let me just carefully remove the big guys without touching the little guys, right? I want it to go down right in the same spot. Again, it's not exactly precise work here, but should be pretty good and good enough to start drilling some pilot holes. Otherwise, this very unbelievably cheap wood I'm using on the back here has a tendency to just completely split apart. Oh, now it's raining on me. The sky is all clear and it's raining. What in the world is up with today's weather? Why? Why is it doing that? Oh, come on, man. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm not stopping just because of that. Ooh. Screwdriver. Somewhere down here. Yes. Not gonna lie to you, this is pretty sloppy work. Well, come on, man, it's raining on me. And it's just a planter. And, you know, it's really raining now. Look at this. What the heck, dude? What the heck? That is just obnoxious. Now it's time for the stupid part where I slide these bigger beams underneath this rickety, weak construction and hope for the best. Ooh. It's a tight squeeze. It's like me trying to get my pants on these days. It'll do it. It'll do it. Right there. Nobody touch anything. See, look at that. There we go. And a couple more holes here just to screw in the big 4x4s, right? And we'll be done. This is the part, by the way, in the YouTube video where most guys who don't really know what they're doing would kind of tell you the right way that they should be doing it, you know? Because they probably looked it up and went, ooh, I should probably be doing it like this or whatever. I have absolutely no idea how something like this should go together. I just know I figured out a way that it'll kind of work, I hope, and we'll see. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy learning about the correct way to do things after the fact. It's just, you know, I just like to go forth and I have no problem admitting I have no idea what I'm doing at all. It's this type of thing that drives my brother Seth absolutely crazy. He's a little more detail-oriented than I am. We just have different styles, that's all. Different styles! Although I admit his style is objectively better. Oh! Forgot that was supposed to be in an angle. My bad. Okay. This one too, right? Yeah. Woo! Ooh, jalali. A screw! How exciting! Ooh. How dare you make that sound at me? Alright, I forget what I wanted to do over here first. Oh, yes! What I want is for these beams, yeah, to look all weathered and worn like these beams here, which have a lot more texture to them, and that is because I blowtorched the heck out of them, which I will do on these now, if the rain will cooperate. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do this inside, and if this is wrong or unsafe or I'm doing anything that I shouldn't be doing, I just want everyone to know that it was my friend Spike that taught me how to do this through text message, so I have no idea what I'm doing, and no one should ever copy what I'm doing or try anything that I ever do at home. Now, having said that, I must admit that this is probably the most fun part. Pretty simple. It's just blowtorch, steel, wire, brush, almost like a barbecue cleaning brush, and then, as I was told, just go to town. So here we go. Oh, by the way, normally I do wear a mask while I do this, but I ran out of all of my N95 masks for dust and smoke and stuff because I kept using them to go to the grocery store. So, note to self, buy more masks, live longer. See, look at that. You want it to get nice and orange and charcoal in there. What you're doing is burning away the softer layers of wood so that they can just be scraped on out, and then the harder layers of wood will stay up and be a little ridgy. By the way, I normally do this down on the ground, away, the heat pointing away from me. I'm just doing it like this so you can see how gradually you blacken it, you cook the wood, and then you end up scraping it off later. And I, by the way, do recommend having at least one glove to touch the hot wood, over there. Just everybody should know that. All right, here I go now, for real. All right, there's probably no right or wrong way, but I like to do half usually. Or, well, I did a little more than half this time. Scrape it out, right? This is the crap that the mask comes in handy for. Then I usually flip it around, burn, and do the other side. I get that nice charcoaliness. That's how I know it's really burning away. Sure, there are guys that are better at this, and by the way, normally I would do a better job. Sort of in a rush still, because these are those last pieces. The pieces I'll probably stare at for years and go, I kind of rushed through those ones. Wish I'd have taken my time. Well, I didn't wish that I could have taken my time, because I'm here now not wishing that. So future me, you'll just have to deal. Froggy went according and he did right. Froggy went according and he did right. Sword and pistol by his side. Why do you have those? Also, one little note when you're doing the knots. You know the big knots in the wood? Probably for the best to also wear eye protection, because sometimes the sap explodes out of them. This one not too sappy. I think I'm alright. Taking a little bit of a risk. Like I said, don't do anything the way I'm doing it. It's very foolish. Also, sorry for all the charcoal dust that's blowing directly towards you. Please try not to breathe that. See, look at this though. Look how much prettier that is than, just the normal redwood. Like, it just, has a nice texture to it. That's how they aged all that wood in Disneyland and places like that. Pretty neat. The ends are definitely the most annoying part of this. Take a lot longer to burn off. Much harder to scrub out. Like I said, probably no one should ever do this indoors or around this much wood dust, or with this little safety protection on. Don't do it the way I'm doing it, for sure. Again, reiterate, I'm pretty sure this is really bad for you to breathe this stuff and do this stuff, so always do it with the mask. Probably you could just buy it aged or something like that. I don't have to do it all yourself. I just went crazy on this project, doing everything myself. But, you could probably buy wood that just looks a little older and forego this part, Funny part about this is I don't like fire, the things that can burn me. I really don't like messing with electricity, especially I don't like getting shocked. I don't like pain in general. But I used to weld stuff together, also kind of very janky and DIY. And I think all those years of welding made me a lot less afraid of the torch. So I just know how to handle it even at close range and not get burned. So if I seem to be moving with a undue degree of confidence, that's the reason. Okay, the big ones are now torched, and I have reversed the faces of the other guys. I even applied a little stain to this panel here for the middle. So now it's time for me to assemble all of this into one final harmonious whole. Oh no, we're losing sunlight! Close enough. There. Ooh. You may now go wash your hands and finish your homework. Oh, and there it is. The completed, well, mocked up planter. Look at that. Look at the size of it. It's something like 52 by 44, so it's pretty sizable, and it's 2 feet deep. Plenty of dirt can go in there, plenty of plants. I've just got to take a long look at this and decide whether this exact configuration of sides is exactly what I want. And then I'm going to screw in some metal brackets here into the corners, just in the center, which should loosely hold it together as a planter. The dirt will really hold it all together, you know what I mean? The dirt inside. You know, I gotta tell you, that thing looks absolutely gargantuan over there. Huge. And over here next to the tree in the lawn, it looks so dinky. Well, perhaps later there'll be supplementary planters. I gotta tell you, after spending like weeks on this thing, and I'm not even kidding, weeks carving and learning to chisel and router things out and putting them all together and blow torching them and scraping them and staining some of them. I can't believe how small it looks. Oh, it won't look small when I'm filling it with 80 bags of dirt. Anyway, it's getting dark now. I'm gonna try to make some fine adjustments while I still can. I kept hearing this weird noise right now, and I was thinking, what in the heck is that? It's not a jet. And I realized it's thunder. We get thunder so little in Southern California, I didn't even recognize it for what it was. Well, I hope it doesn't rain on me again. I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to Disneyland tomorrow and see all that fine craftsmanship and just be thinking, probably should have done a better job on that planter. Although, if I was Disneyland, I would have aged this wood, then cast it in fiberglass, then made this whole thing out of fiberglass and resin and stuff like that. I'm working with wood here and battling the elements in my own impatience, but I'm pretty sure it's working. Oh, ran out of wood screws. Drywall screws will work, right? I also don't know that only one... Ooh, that was lightning. Are you serious? I also don't know that only one of these brackets is going to work per side. I'm not even drilling pilot holes. I'm just hoping. So we'll see. Maybe I might have to tie a rope around the whole outside of it. Hopefully that looks authentic when I inevitably have to do that, just to hold the pressure in. Sounds like Florida out here. Whoa, look how dark it is over there, dude. It's not even sundown yet. Look at the state of this place. Oh, ambidextrous. Look at that. Hear that? Wild parrots. Google the wild parrots of Orange County. Trust me. Fascinating. Grown up with parrots here our whole lives, and they are not indigenous. Dude, seriously, can you hear that thunder? I've seen lightning like 3 or 4 times. Really close over here. And I gotta tell you, for Orange County, California, that's extremely... Look at that! That is extremely rare. Only a handful of times in my life have I seen that here in Orange County. Of course, I've seen it all over the Midwest and Florida and stuff like that. But in Orange County, it's almost unheard of. Anyway, I have now bracketed in all of my brackets. I've screwed them in. I did this all a little backwards. This is on the outside when it should have been on the inside. But I did it on purpose because of a carving on the other side. I wanted that face not to be obscured by its neighbor over there. Anyways, hopefully the gods won't be angered by all the celebrating, because I think I'm actually finished. Dude, I'm an apartment kid from Anaheim. We didn't grow up with garages or any tools or anywhere to use tools, even if we had them. I mean, my great-grandparents lived on a farm. My grandparents, they had an Orange County, suburban home like this, but I never grew up using tools or making anything. So even though it's sketchy, even though it's all kinds of wrong, I'm pretty stoked on this. I was pretty stoked on taking you through the whole process. I was planning on going to buy a bunch of dirt and dumping it in, but I think because of the storm here, we are losing light much too rapidly, and you wouldn't see much in the dark anyway. So I guess for now, that's just about it. Plus, dude, I can hear the thunder. That is crazy. There's a crazy amount of stormage over there. I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but I feel like I can hear rain a ways away. You know, it sounds like distant wind. And so I'm fairly certain that if we stay down here any longer, even with flashlights, we're going to get dumped on. Now, I know it looks a little silly sitting there all by itself, empty, just a bunch of wood. But trust me, in the summertime, when this tree gets all the leaves on it that hang almost down to the ground, and there are tiki plants coming up and meeting the leaves from the tree right there, it is going to feel like a mighty separation between all that business over there and this lovely little tropical corner over. Yeah, I know it might not seem like much to other people, but for me, working on this in little bits and pieces while taking care of Allie, it was sort of a keep my sanity project, and I'm pretty pleased that it didn't just end in fiery disaster or me cutting off one of my fingers, you know. If you put your mind to it, you might not be able to accomplish anything, but you can definitely accomplish things that would even surprise yourself. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty good. All right, let's put the tools away before it actually starts raining. Dude, that is wild. And look at this. Look at the moon over there. Through the clouds. Dude, we're having some weird weather out here. Hi, Allie. You're not scared, are you?
No.
Whoa, all right. I think it's time for us to wrap stuff up. I can feel big, fat, heavy raindrops falling. Ooh. There's quite a lot of lightning, and it all seems to be converging right on our house. No, please don't smite me. I think that might be the universe telling us we've done our duty. I think it's safe to say it's time to go home. And I mean get under cover quickly and sleep well. Bye-bye, everybody. Dude! Are you kidding me? What the heck is this? There wasn't even rain on the forecast. And now it's hail! Hailstorm! A storm! Do you want to build a ouch, hail man? Oh, wow. Hey guys, don't forget about our store.randomland.com, and there's Patreon, $10 and up a month. Get you the morning announcements. It's a whole separate little morning video, and we have a podcast for everybody on there. Holy cow, look at all the hail. And so much more. Randomland is coming back with a vengeance. Guess we wanted to start things off with a bang here, with thunderous applause. How about that one? Wild how dark it got. I mean, look at this, and then look just how much light a lighter makes over here. Put that back on the tool bench. Oh, I might have needed that. Oh, the garage door, I did that to myself. Anyway, we'll be back for more adventures. Whoa! If we survive the storm. I have never seen this in all the years I've lived in Anaheim, Orange, Fullerton, Brea. I don't think I ever lived in Yorba Linda. Any other Orange County cities? I can see my breath now. Stamp your feet, it got cold. Whoa! I guess you don't have to travel far from home to have an adventure. All right, guys. See you next time. Ooh, and until then, go home and sleep well. I think it's definitely time to... Oh, whoa.